Hey, it's Jeff. This video is titled Get Coaching Leads Tomorrow Without Ever Leaving Your Home. Now, the good news about this is that you can actually get leads tomorrow without even picking up your telephone as well. So let's jump right in because we've got quite a lot to cover in a very short time. So, when we're talking about getting leads for coaching, we're talking about attracting people that are interested in what you have to offer. So there are two steps to any part of the marketing process, and you've got to always be thinking about these steps. The first step is find out what people want. So you've got to get a sense of that, and you need to have a set of tools and understandings and ways of thinking that will allow you to learn what your prospects, what your hopeful customers are going to want. And then step two is you got to go and get it for them. You got to make sure you've got the goods. You've got what they want. Now, all of this falls under the umbrella of communication. So you must have optimal communication as you're working with your prospects, your customers, and people who don't even know who you are. So ultimately, when we're talking about marketing, you must have the ability to not only have what your customers want and know what they want, but you also need to be able to communicate to your customers that you have what they want and that it is indeed exactly what they want as well. If you don't have that ability to communicate, then the dots will never be connected. You might have the best mousetrap in the world, but no way to get it out to as many of the right people as possible. So, when we're talking about sales, there's a lot of ways that you can call somebody on the phone. There are a lot of ways that you can knock on someone's door, that you can walk up to someone on the street and find out what they want, and then go and get it, and then communicate that you have it. But when we get into getting coaching leads within a short amount of time without having to go running after people, there are a different set of techniques that you must learn in order to be able to get this kind of result without just doing it like a sales process. So I have to then ask you this question. Are you running the machine? And when I say the machine, I mean the machine of your marketing, the machine of your business. Are you just running this great marketing machine that brings you leads every day? Or are you the machine? Are you the one that has to go out and grab the people and bring them back home or bring them back to the office with you? Because if you've got to do that, your days are numbered when it comes to your business because there's just so much that you need to produce. You've got to coach, you've got to provide the value, you've got to figure out how the customer service is going to work. You've got to plan out all these different aspects of your practice and your business. If you have the need to every day go find more leads and it's your job to do so, you don't have a machine that's running for you, then that's going to take all your time. And you're not going to have much time left over to coach and provide the value that you know that you can provide people if you could just find them. So this really is about finding your target market. This really is about finding those people that you so much want to serve. And that's the first step. Find a target market. Now, when we talk about a market, what do we mean? Well, a market consists of three intersecting circles, and you can actually see this on the PowerPoint that we're going through. The first circle is a group of customers, or a customer, if you will. Or another way of saying that is a community. Seth Godin will call this a tribe in his new book that I would definitely suggest that you get, called Tribes. I'm just about to read that one myself. But the kind of the point of that title, at least, even though I haven't read the book yet, is that there are these tribes of people in the world, and they kind of collect together in what you might call a community or a tribe. And a tribe of people or a community of people, they have commonalities. They have a common language. They have common wants and needs. They have common fears and frustrations as well. And so that's the first aspect is you've got to locate this community. You've got to locate this tribe. Now beyond that, what makes a market is that there's something that's marketable, something that they want. So they have, as you can see here, a problem. So this tribe, this community, or at least some individuals in segments of this tribe are going to have certain problems. And without a problem, or without a desire that's not yet met, that hopefully you'll be able to meet, you're not going to see any kind of market. I mean, a market is more than just a group of people. A market is a demand. That's what we call the stock market. The reason there's a stock market is because there's a demand for stocks. Not so much lately, but there's still a demand for stocks. If you go to the local marketplace or the local market, the reason it exists is because there is a market for those items, whatever it is that they're selling. So a problem actually defines the fact that there is a market here, not just a community of people. And then finally, the solution. And the solution is what you are going to provide. So you're bringing that to the table here. Now, remember that the problem and the solution are all in the minds of your market, are all in the minds of your prospective customer. So you might think they have a problem, but if they don't, that's not really a market. Remember, and I've mentioned this in past videos, that the market that you want to find is a market that's actively searching for your services or for solutions to a problem that they know that they've got. They perceive the problem already. And then finally, that it's an emotional or almost irrational drive for them to fix this problem or find the solution, find their outcome. And that they don't believe they have very many perceived options. So you want to insert all those criteria inside what we're talking about as we're defining this marketplace. So, to find this target market, there are a lot of things that you can do, but I'm going to give you a couple keys during this video. First of all, and this is all on the internet, you can go to Google Groups, and there are communities that you can find just by finding groups on Google. You can go to ning.com, ning.com, and they actually set up social networks, and these social networks are usually surrounding a particular activity. That's why they call it Ning. It's kind of like golfing, right? So golfing is a particular community. There's the golfing community. So if you only coach golfers, well, you could probably find a community of golfers on Ning. There's Yahoo Groups, which is kind of a variation on Google Groups. There's Facebook, and there are a lot of different tribes on Facebook that you can locate and that you can market to. And then finally, YouTube. And what a lot of people don't understand or don't know about YouTube is that it's not just about videos, it's about groups of people that are following different gurus and different channels, if you will, and that they're defined by the channels that they watch as well. So they're tribes or communities as well. These are different ways to find these communities on the internet. The final way I'm going to share with you a little bit later, and it is the best secret to immediately gaining leads on the internet. Now, as far as solutions go, there are a lot of ways that you can provide them. You can provide them over the phone, of course. As a coach, that's one of our greatest mediums. You can provide video like I'm doing right now. It's a great way to coach a lot of people without you having to work with every single one of them as well. You can create a book. And then finally, you can run a training as well. That might be an on-site training or maybe a telephone training where you do a conference call. Lots of different modalities within which you can put your solution, your genius that you can provide to solve the problem of this particular tribe or this particular community. So when you're thinking about locating these groups and you want to now entice them to become one of your leads, somebody that might be interested or show interest in what you have to offer, you want to think about one word over and over again, and that is permission. And this is something that I learned from Seth Godin as well. Great marketer. You should read all his books, and I want to pay attribution to him being the one who really generated this concept of permission marketing. And you want to think of, as you're getting leads and as you're trying to get people to kind of come into your marketing funnel, if you will, that you're trying to get permission from them to actually offer them something or to market to them. If you don't have somebody's permission to try to communicate something to them, then you're going to have a hard time getting them to want to get a complimentary session with you or something like that. Now, in the sales process, this is a little different. You might just interrupt somebody and talk to them, and just because of that kind of social graces, they may just want to listen to you or probably feel obligated to listen to you in that moment. But in the marketing world, if they don't think that you're right there watching them or listening to them on the phone, they're just going to leave because they're only interested in what they want. And if they didn't give you permission to talk to them or to contact them or to give them something, even for free, they don't want to hear from you. And if you try to give somebody something without permission, you're going to get an angry prospective customer, and they're probably not going to be a prospective customer anymore. So make sure you keep thinking about permission. And the different types of permission are important to understand. People start out as strangers, and the first conversion that you want to try to create is you want to convert those strangers into friends. And one of the ways that you do that is they give you permission to, again, communicate with them, and then you start creating a relationship with them. And eventually there's a sense of business friends, if you will, rather than a client or a customer type of relationship. And then finally, you're going to now take those friends, you're going to convert them into clients or customers. And it's a lot easier to convert a friend into a client or a customer than it is to convert a total stranger into a customer. Now, contrary to popular belief, this is not unprofessional to take a friend and convert them into a customer. It's not multi-level marketing. People want to feel like they know you, like they like you, like they trust you before they're going to buy anything from you. So you got to be able to create that as you're getting permission, and you're getting deeper levels of permission every step along the way. So first I might get permission to just send you an email. Then I might get permission to have you watch a video. Then I might get permission to call you. Then I might get permission to give you a complimentary session or set a meeting with you. And then I might get permission to finally take some money and then give you a service in return. So how do you get permission, and how do you move people closer to becoming a lead and actually be willing to receive communication from you? Well, this is all about value. You've got to remember that your client has certain things that they value, and you've got to be able to offer them something that they value, and that turns into something that they're willing to ultimately pay for. And I'll get to a little bit about how to measure that and how to do that a little later in this video. So I want you to consider that the most valuable information that you can offer your clients or prospects, that is your best way to market to your clients and customers and to get more and more permission to ultimately create a business relationship with them later on down the road. A lot of times, you'll probably look at your email, or you'll be watching TV, or surfing the internet, and you'll see some kind of communication that goes something like this. Hey, I've got exactly what you need. It's this and this and this, and all you got to do is pay me for it and I'll give it to you. We're always getting communications like that. Here's the problem with that. They're usually not giving you much valuable information. And so what do you do when you see that stuff? 9 times out of 10, you delete it, you move on. That's what you want to avoid with your prospects and customers. So how do you avoid that? You give them valuable information. Now, if you're surfing the internet, or you're looking at your email, you're watching TV, and somebody suddenly offers you valuable information, and I mean valuable information by way of what you think is valuable, information you want to find, a problem that you want to solve, and they're giving you the information, you're going to listen up, and you're not just going to change the channel or delete the email or move on down the road of the internet. Now, as you're offering that valuable information to your prospects, you want to remember to start where the customer is at, not where you're at. Now, a lot of people don't understand that most of our prospective customers have an average IQ, they have average resources, and they probably have below average resources in the area where you're going to help them. That's why they're so driven to try to find the solution, because they're kind of ignorant in that area probably. So remember that what you think is valuable information is probably not what your customer or prospective client thinks is valuable information. You might need to dumb it down a little bit, or you might need to just make it a little less advanced, or you might need to give them information that you've known for years, but they don't know anything about this stuff. So remember, Find out where your customer is at first and then start there, not where you think they should be or the ideal perspective that you might have. And also remember to look for customers, and I mentioned this before, who are looking for you. If they're not looking for you, you're going to have a hard road to hoe to try to get them to become a lead for your coaching. I'm going to continue on this idea of valuable information being the best marketing. Now, many of the ways that we market and sell our services are actually the exact opposite of what we really should be doing. One of the counterintuitive truths of marketing is that the more that you're able to give, the more you're going to receive. Now, us as coaches, many of us kind of live by this credo, or we understand this, but most people don't. And by the way, it's interesting that when coaches start to get into marketing mode, they actually kind of forget that credo as well. So here's the point. Most of the time, in sales mode, most people that are selling or marketing try to keep the good stuff and only give a little bit of it, or only give the really good information when they finally get a lot of money from their prospect or their client. So I'm going to suggest that you do the exact opposite, that you take your best stuff and that you give that away. Now, what this does with your client is that they start to realize, gosh, if this is what this individual is giving me for free, and I'm making more money now, I'm losing more weight now, I'm turning my relationship around now, I haven't even paid this person yet. Gosh, if I bought their product, I can't imagine what that would be like. That's got to be amazing. You want to get that mindset inside your customer. So start with the most emotional need or result that your prospect is experiencing. What I mean by that is, what is their biggest fear, frustration, or desire? What is the thing that keeps them up late at night, that puts them in a cold sweat? What is the thing that they feel the most pain about or the most desire for? And you want to start with giving them solutions to give them what they want in that area, or start to help them relieve that biggest pain, that biggest frustration, and actually give that away. And the next point here is give an easy solution. Don't give them the solution that's going to take them 10 years to figure out. You've got to find the cross section between what they need the most and what they want the most, and what's going to take them 5 minutes with no real discomfort to find a solution for. Now, unfortunately, we know that many solutions take a long time. They're probably hard, and they have to confront a fear or something like that. You want to save that stuff for later. Give them the stuff that's going to give them like the instant result, because you want to implant that, again, concept of value in their mind. Give them something that's going to make them real happy with you at first, and then later on down the road, you can start to get them a little bit more tough love to move them in the direction that they really need to go as well. You want to give them what they want, not just what they need. And here's the final point with giving the best stuff away. Your goal is to get your content, your information, your coaching, if you will, into the hands of as many people as possible, as many people as you can possibly find to take it. And you also want to give away the most value you possibly can as well. So you're trying to give the most value to the most people. Those are your goals as a marketer, and that will ultimately bring you the most leads as well. So here are your 3 steps to get internet coaching leads, and you can start this today. The first one is to create a Google ad. Now, you might have heard of Google AdWords already, and if you have, fantastic. But Google, when you do a little search on Google, if you look at the advertisements that are in the right-hand side, there'll be a little list of them. Those are people just like yourself that's looking for somebody to click on their ad and bring them to their website, and then ultimately hopefully do business. So you've ultimately got lots of ways to get people to show up on your website, or to listen to a phone message of yours, or to take a call from you, but this is the simplest and it's the easiest. So you want to start here, because a lot of other little tricks and tips on the internet are really good, but they take a million years to get to have happen. So this one you can do it within hours, and you're getting hits on your website. You're getting leads to come to you. So that's the first thing you want to do. So here's just an example of a Google ad that I've created, and if you do certain searches, you might have actually seen this one. In fact, maybe that's why you're listening to me right now. And it says coach training videos. It's pretty straightforward. It's offering what it is that I have to offer for free. Quickly discover how to coach, live examples and diagrams included. So just a few little features there of what you get, and then it's got my URL, coachestraining.blog.com. So do you think you could create like an ad like this? It's pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of selling involved here. It's just saying, hey, here's what I've got. Do you want it? Step 2 in the 3 steps to get internet coaching leads is that you need to create what's called a squeeze page. Sometimes people call this an opt-in page or a splash page. And this is actually a very simple website. It's a one-page website, and it's going to have something like this on it. It's going to have a headline that explains exactly what it is that you're offering your prospects, and then maybe a couple bullets with some details of what they're going to get, and you want to make those really compelling. And then there's going to be a call to action at the end, and you can see it kind of at the bottom of this slide where it just says, hey, put your information below, and then we'll take you to the videos or whatever it is that you're offering. And then there'll be a little web form where they'll fill that out. These are really simple to make, and I'm going to give you the secret on how to do this within hours and have this page up in just a couple minutes as we go further into this video. But suffice to say at this point, that's step 2, is once you've created your Google ad, you got to create a squeeze page or an opt-in page, because that's where the people that click on your ads are going to go once they've clicked on the ad. And then you hope, of course, that they do the next step, which is to opt in, to actually put their name and email address in that little form. And guess what? Now you got a lead. And the final step in this process, step 3 in getting internet coaching leads, is to create what I call a blue chip blog. Now, what's the difference between just a normal blog and a blue chip blog? Well, a blue chip blog offers for free the best things that any of your prospective clients are going to want, and it's going to offer it in the modality that they want it in. So you might go on the internet and search on Google, and you'll find a lot of blogs that are talking about the subjects that you teach on or that you coach on, but they're probably not giving the best stuff away, or if they are, they're probably just giving it in the written word. So maybe you're a health coach, or let's say a weight loss coach, and you know there are 3 steps to losing weight: eat less, exercise more, and maybe eating certain kinds of food, let's say, just as an example. And you know you can search the internet and find a million blogs that'll say exactly the same thing, but you got to read it in order to figure it out. And not only that, it's kind of boring as well. So maybe the most value that you can offer those same prospects, those same clients, is in your blog you put audios that talk them through this process. And maybe they're a little bit more exciting and entertaining than the normal blog entry. Or maybe you make a video like the ones I do in my blog. But you want to put the solutions that you're providing in the modality or in the medium or the form that your clients will value it the most highly. So video is extremely highly valued. Audios are pretty valuable as well. Live coaching sessions or teleconference calls, things like that, they're still in that relatively high value phase, maybe a little bit lower than videos or audios, because now they have to deal with a live conference and they're not sure what's going to happen. Live events also can be in this range. Lower value would usually, for most people, would be written word, special reports, ebooks, things like that, although you can place a lot of value in those if you're properly marketing them. And also if you're selling to, like, for instance, engineers or something like that, maybe they do just want to read it. You know, that might be much more highly valued to them. But the bottom line is this blog needs to be highly valuable to your clients. And I'm going to show you how to set that up in just a couple minutes. So you might be thinking at this point, sure, Jeff, this is great for you. You know, you did all this stuff, but will it work for somebody trying to coach parrots or a parrot coach? Now, I know you think I might have gone off the deep end, but there actually are people out there that coach parrots. Or actually, they really don't coach parrots. They coach the owners of the parrots, okay? You know, just to be completely clear on this one. But I guess the point I'm making with this question that you might be asking is, you know, is this going to work for me with the kind of market that I'm coaching and trying to work with? You know, is this going to work out for me? Well, let's explore actually what it looks like if you're a parrot coach or you're coaching people that own parrots and how they've set up something that looks very similar actually to what I've created. Okay, so here we are, and let's take a look and find out if parrot coaching really can make you money. So I'm going to go to my browser, and I've already taken the liberty to go ahead and search on a problem that I might have if I own parrots, which was parrot biting. So I just put this down and I clicked search, and here's what I got in the results. First of all, I got a bunch of organic results over here on the left, and I'm not going to look at those though. There are a couple different ads over here, and so I actually clicked on this last one, this Stop Biting Parrot, parrotsecrets.com, or I think I actually clicked on Easy Parrot Training Bird Tricks. I tried a couple of them, and then this is actually what popped up. I got this page. So again, this is your Google ad that you would put over here, and then this is what I landed on. And so this is a very simple headline. Who else wants to discover how to stop your parrot from biting you? Plus, convince your parrot to cheerfully step up. That means that, come up on your arm, if you will. Stop screaming for attention and never poop on you again. So you can see this guy's really gotten into the heads of his prospective customers and what they're trying to avoid. Now, beyond that, he's got a video here, and you can see that he's taken this video right in front of his fireplace. Really professional studio area. And then if you play this video, you'll actually see him inviting you to come and get some free information from him. So let's take a look.
We here at birdtricks.com work full-time at helping people solve their parrots' behavior problems. So if you've ever wished there was a way to say goodbye to your bird's annoying, nasty behavior issues, you've come to the right place. Because you're about to receive 2 free videos, along with step-by-step action plans that'll show you how to stop your parrot from biting. Whether he bites you because he's defending his cage, attacks, hisses, or lunges at you the second you get within mere feet of him, or if you've been seriously bitten before and just the thought of getting bitten again intimidates you, we'll show you how to overcome that fear and get your parrot to start longing for your love and attention. Plus, we'll show you specific tricks you can teach your bird, even if he hates you, that will override his fear of you, causing him to let you touch his back, neck, and feet willingly. We're even seeing great results when using these latest techniques to help stop dozens of other behavior problems, like screaming and feather plucking. To gain instant access to these exclusive videos and step-by-step lessons, simply fill in your first name and email address in the box on this page and hit the button that says, I want instant access. You'll be blown away with what you'll discover, and trust me, your bird will thank you for it.
So it's a pretty simple video, and this entire page is something that you could copy. You could copy this Who Else Wants headline, and you could have it say, who else wants to discover how to lose 20 pounds in 2 months and never put the weight on again? Question mark. And then have a subhead and actually create a little video like this. Nowadays, it's pretty easy to do that. In fact, if you've watched some of my past videos, you'll see some techniques on how to do that, how to create what I'm creating now. And he did a great script. It was a very compelling script, so you might actually take down what it is that he said and just, again, insert your particular content on what you're going to offer, and then just have your webmaster set something like this up, which is pretty easy. So if I insert my information in here, have it go right to my Gmail, and I want to stop my parents biting, I'll just click on I want to see the videos, and here we are. And so now this is not a blog, and I'm going to suggest that you actually create a blog, but what he's created is another sales letter, and he's probably going to sell me a product at the end. Yeah, he's looking to make some money right now, basically, which you could do as well. But the point here is that I've just become one of his leads, and he'll now be able to email me and get in touch with me as well. But he gave me the valuable video right here also, which is kind of nice. But the bottom line is, I'd suggest that you have a blog be on this page instead, and so I can start watching different videos and I can start making comments and create that community atmosphere as well. So I hope that convinced you that no matter who you're coaching, no matter what group of people or tribe that you're trying to find, that you can find them on the internet and you can do pretty well. I actually met the gentleman that runs this birdtricks.com, or this parrot coaching website, so to speak, and they're doing very, very well. In fact, my mother owns parrots, and my stepdad actually bought their product. So this does make money, and I've actually seen it happen outside of my own coaching practice as well. So now we're going to get to the really good stuff. This is the detailed part where I'm going to take you through every step in the process of getting these 3 steps set up for yourself. And you're going to be able to do this within a very short period of time, practically overnight. So first, let's start with a simple system. So everything that I'm going to show you in each of these 3 steps is super simple. Now, there's no doubt that you can make it more complicated or problems can come up. But beyond that, because it's not a perfect world, this is going to be pretty simple as far as the steps involved. So if you write these steps down or you look at these steps later, just keep following the steps and you will get where you need to go as far as getting leads without ever leaving your home or ever even having to pick up the phone. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a simple system for Google AdWords. The first step is you want to search for your service or solution. So if you're a weight loss coach, you might search for lose weight now or something like that. You're going to search for that on Google. And so just do a couple search terms and try some different searches and see what comes up. Second step, you want to copy some of the ads that are at the right-hand side. Now, I'm not saying you're going to use that exact ad. You're just, for now, copy the ones that you think are really compelling. And then rework those ads. In other words, you're going to change them enough so that it's really your ad now. You've made it your own, so to speak. And also, you're going to want to make sure that you use your particular solutions that you're offering as well. But this is an easy way to just kind of swipe kind of a profile or a format that really does work, or else they wouldn't be advertising, and then make it your own and put your own content inside of it. Next, you want to get a Google AdWords account, and you just go to Google, and then at the bottom it'll say something like business solutions or advertising solutions. You just click on that. It'll take about 10 minutes to get it set up, and just go for it. This is the part that most people stop. They kind of dabble, they look at what's going on, but then when it's time to actually get their AdWords account, for whatever reason, they pause. Look, you got to do this right now if you're going to be serious about this. And yes, they'll ask you for like a credit card, and you'll have to make a commitment of like $50 or something like that to get this AdWords account set up. But just get it set up. Go through the fire of actually making this leap, because I can promise you, if you do it, you will be glad that you did, because you're going to start seeing leads coming in. And then finally, start advertising. Now, to do this, inside of your account, you'll actually have to put your ad and set it up, and you're going to actually have to make that ad campaign live, and it's very user friendly, relatively speaking, at least to get the ball rolling here. And that's all I'm asking you to do right now. You don't have to become a wizard at AdWords at first. This is a learning process, and you're beginning that process. Next, let's move on to the Simple System squeeze pages. It's kind of a tongue twister. Simple System squeeze pages. Say that 10 times fast. And again, this is that page that people will land on once they click on your Google ad. So first, you just go out and find some squeeze pages. Copy a squeeze page. Copy mine if you want. But just get the copy for that, and then again, you're going to rework it for your offer. So you're going to change, for instance, if mine says you're about to learn secrets that coaches will never know about how to build their practice, yours might say you're about to learn secrets that most people will never know about how to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, or whatever your solution is. Make sense? Next, buy a domain. And you want the domain to be the name of your solution, not your name. So if you're a weight loss coach, you're going to want your domain to be, easy weight loss or something like that. And finally, you want to get a webmaster. And the way to get a webmaster is to go to elance.com, ELANCE.com, and then actually post a job, and people will make proposals to you. And the great thing about this now is that in our present economy, you can get a webmaster pretty cheaply, because these services are becoming almost a dime a dozen. Or you can go to Craigslist.org, that's Craigslist.org, and also place a classified ad there to get a webmaster. And if you really have trouble getting a webmaster, then contact me and I'll see if I can actually hook you up with my webmaster as well. So we'll find you one no matter what. This is key because you don't want to have to become a coding pro or somebody who knows HTML like the back of their hand. You just want to get somebody to do the stuff for you, and it's not going to cost you very much money. So just get a webmaster. It is a must to get yourself rolling, to get leads on the internet. Finally, your webmaster will post your squeeze page for you. So once you've reworked it, you put it in a Word document, you email it to your webmaster, and you say, hey, could you put this up on the internet for me? And they'll do it. It's just that simple. Finally, let's talk about these blue chip blogs and a simple system to put this up. So you're going to get your webmaster, that same webmaster, to set up an autoresponder for you. And you can do this at oneshoppingcart.com. You can do this at aweber.com. There's one called getresponse.com, but you want to find one of these autoresponders and get your webmaster to set it up for you because they're going to link that autoresponder with your form on your squeeze page. They'll do all this for you. You're going to get your webmaster then to set up WordPress, and your clients will land on this WordPress blog once they've opted in. And then you want to just start posting articles. And again, they might be audios, videos, they might just be regular written or printed articles, they might have pictures or no pictures. That's really up to you, and you'll learn how to be able to put this stuff together as you're posting on WordPress. It's kind of a learning process. But at the minimum, you want to start putting your solutions up in written form. Finally, every time you post a new article on your WordPress blog, you want to notify your database each and every time. Unless you post every day, and if so, then maybe you just notify them about your best article that you post each week. The bottom line is you're going to have this one shopping cart account or this Aweber account, and you're going to figure out how to send out emails using it, and it'll send out an email to everyone who's opted in on your squeeze page. So if you've got 1,000 people that opted in, well, you press send and it sends it out to everyone on that squeeze page. Just one click of your mouse. And then all those thousands of people are going to click on the link that takes them to your blog again, and they'll make comments, and it'll become a community of people that you are kind of rallying together. This is basically what I'm doing if you haven't noticed. Now, here are a couple secrets for what to do once you've got the leads. This is even taking it a little bit of a step further in terms of actually getting people to spend money with your services. You want to kind of survey them. And I've talked about surveys before in other videos. But the bottom line is you can just email them and say, hey, what are your biggest fears when it comes to what I'm offering here? So if you're a weight loss coach, you might ask, what are your biggest fears when it comes to losing weight? Then you want to ask the second question, what are your biggest frustrations when it comes to losing weight? And then the third question you're going to ask is, what are your biggest aspirations or desires when it comes to whatever your subject is? Again, in this example, losing weight. And you want to ask them to go to the blog and post a comment, and that's where you'd like them to actually put the answers to those questions. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can just have them reply, but I find that kind of cumbersome to have 10 different 20 different emails that I have to roll through on my Outlook to try to find the answers to this little mini survey here. Next, once you've gathered up this information, you're going to have a heck of a lot of data and insight into what your prospective customers want and what they're fearing, what they're frustrated with. And then you want to put together tutorials that allow your prospect to get results in those areas. So if the biggest fear that people have around, let's say, losing weight is if they're going to have, let's say, cravings that they can't meet, well, then you want to create a video or an audio or a post about how to eliminate those cravings. And if you don't know how, you want to find somebody that can help you with that so you can get the answers to them. Because, again, this is that two-step process. Find out what your customers want and then go and get it for them. That's what you got to do as you're starting to build a relationship with these customers. Remember, give some of your best tips. Don't save the best for last. You want to start with the best tip that you've got and the one that is going to take care of their biggest fear, frustration, or desire. Remember, if you're in the movie theater and you're watching a trailer for a movie that's coming out, do they give you like the worst clips of that movie, like the most boring scenes, and really save the best scenes for when you're actually going to see the movie? Heck no. I mean, that 1 minute trailer is an amalgamation of the absolute best scenes that they can find. In fact, usually when I'm watching a trailer nowadays and I see the scenes, I'm thinking, okay, that's the absolute best that this movie is going to have to offer. So do I really want to see that movie? Because that's what they do. They do it all the time. So you want to make sure that when you're creating your movie trailer, so to speak, your posts on the blog, your videos on the blog, that again, you give your best stuff and you put it all in a small form so they're going to get the best stuff within a very short period of time. They're going to get this tremendous experience of value from you as well. Furthermore, you're going to create now products for your customers. So there are lots of different types of products that you can give or you can offer. There are a lot of ways to package the solutions and the coaching that you're giving your clients. So one way is an ebook. And an ebook you could offer for anywhere between $20 and let's say $49. Now the nice thing about an ebook, by the way, is that when you offer it, it's basically free for you to offer. It's just a download or an email that you send out. So it doesn't cost you anything. There's no overhead. It's 100% profit. Second thing that you could offer would be a seminar. Now, when you're offering a seminar, you got to pay for the room and things like that. It's going to have some expense to it, so you got to make sure that you can get enough people to show up. But seminars regularly are sold, little 3-day or weekend seminars. They're regularly sold for about $1,000 or more. So you can make a nice margin on seminars and coach people in the seminar itself. You can offer a home study course, and home study courses are regularly sold for $500 or more. And usually the actual stuff that you have to pay for, the hard cost of the home study course, a lot of times it's not much more than maybe $50 or something like that. So you're talking about 10 times margin here. You make $400 every time you sell a home study course, let's say. So it's a pretty nice thing to offer and a great way to give your client an inexpensive way to get a solution without having to take your time and pay probably a lot more for your coaching. Finally, you could create, let's say, a live teleclass series. And this, you might offer a 2-month teleclass series for, let's say, $295 or something like that. Decent price. They're going to get a lot of value, and it's something you can pack 30, 40 people into. And so 30 or 40 times $295 is thousands of dollars in your pocket for just a little bit of your time. Pretty nice deal. So beyond creating products, you're also going to want to create your own coaching programs that you'll offer if that's something that you want to do, and if you're truly going to become the coach and you're going to coach people. So if that's what you're going to do, there are some monthly coaching programs that you're going to want to be able to offer. One is one-on-one coaching, and one-on-one coaching nowadays ranges anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month on average, sometimes more, sometimes a bit less. I've seen coaches offering one-on-one coaching, monthly coaching for as much as $2,500 to $3,500 a month. And that's no joke. I mean, I actually am networked with coaches who actually, those are their fees, and they get those fees on a regular basis. Beyond that, you can offer group coaching. Again, this is a really good deal for your customer. It's a great deal for you. And group coaching generally will range anywhere from $100 to $500 per month. I've seen it offered for as much as a couple thousand a month, but that's only for the real premium gurus usually that are offering that much. But if you put, let's say, 10 people in a group and you're having them pay $100 a month, 2 or 3 hours per week of your time makes you $1,000 a month. You could put together 5, 10 groups like that, and all of a sudden you're making a nice income just from group coaching. And again, it's a great deal for your prospective customers. So those are some things that you can actually offer as you're gaining leads and as you're kind of selling people into this filtered process of whittling down to the final people who are really going to buy your products and services. So by this time, you might be a little excited about actually putting all this together, but one of the thoughts that I had when I first thought about doing internet marketing and getting leads without having to chase people down on the phone is, okay, that's great for you, but will I be able to afford all this? So let's actually go over what the expenses are. So these are monthly fees that you're going to need to plan for as you get started as an internet marketer. First one is, let's say about 50 bucks a month minimum for Google Ads. You can definitely spend more, but plan on spending at least 50 just to get enough traffic to get the ball rolling. Second, you're also going to need to pay a monthly fee for your hosting and your autoresponder. It's not going to amount to much more than $50 a month. Usually it's less. So your total monthly outlay is going to be about 100 bucks a month. If you can handle that, you can handle being an internet marketer, and you can make a lot of money as compared to $100 a month that you're putting out. Beyond that, there are one-time setup fees. Now, your webmaster, on average, a webmaster to do all this for you, maybe somewhere between $200 and $300 just one time. And usually you can make an arrangement to pay that webmaster over time. Now, I have found that lately especially you can spend a lot less and get the same results if you really search for a webmaster that isn't quite charging as much. So you can shop around and get this down to, I would bet you, less than half of that cost. Then beyond that, one time you're going to need to pay for your domain when you set it up, and that'll cost you probably about 10 bucks. So the maximum that you're going to spend on this total, if you just really get it out there and you're shopping around properly, maximum you're going to spend is about $310 just to get the ball rolling and get this started. So there are a couple of mindsets that you're going to need to program yourself with, so to speak, as you're selling on the web and not selling by calling somebody up on the phone. And so we're looking at the slide here, and you can see you and you can see the customer. Now you're trying to create a relationship here, right? You want to make sure that everything you tell the customer about you, that it relates back to the customer. Now, why would you need to do this? Well, what most people do on the internet is they try to get their name out there. They try to kind of promote themselves. And what you need to understand about internet marketing is that nobody cares about you as much as you do. But they certainly do care about themselves tremendously. So if you're going to tell somebody about yourself, and you're going to have them get to know you, you might make sure that everything you say, everything you share relates directly back to them and what their wants, needs, and desires are. Remember those fears and frustrations? If you had any similar fears and frustrations when you first started out losing weight or whatever, well, might be a good thing to share. Beyond that, what about your product? You got to tell them about your product, right? Well, sure, but only tell them what they need to know. Only tell them how your product relates to how they're going to get their results. And then finally, what about your business? Don't they need to know about your business? Well, no, not really. But the point is here that, again, you want to make sure your business relates back to them. Anything that doesn't directly relate to them, you want to leave that out of the conversation. This will help you hone and filter what you're going to communicate to your prospective customer efficiently, effectively, and in a compelling way as well. In fact, you want to even think about this like all other information, other than information about your customer, needs to link back to the customer and their needs. You can think of it like there's a spotlight on your customer the whole time in this world of you, your product, your business, and your customer. Your customer is the number one focus always. So just don't forget that your customer or your prospects only care about the direct connection between these other things and what they want. Now I'm going to give you an example of what I really mean by some of the ways that I am asking you to communicate with your prospective customers. So again, we're going to move into that weight loss coaching category, and here's a book, and you can find it on Amazon, called Clinique Science Weight Loss, a simple method for losing weight rapidly and completely while improving your health and reducing your risk of developing heart disease, cancer, and a variety of other diseases. This is a 340-page book, so you can imagine it's got a lot of information in it, 340 pages. It's by a doctor, Dr. George Ekema, or however you pronounce George's name. And the Amazon.com sales rank is 2,528,000. So there are 2.5 million books that are better sellers currently than Clinique Science Weight Loss. Now let's look at a different book, a book in the same category of weight loss that's competing with Clinique Science Weight Loss. And this book is called Skinny Bitch, a no-nonsense, tough love guide for savvy girls who want to stop eating crap and start looking fabulous. Now, as you can see here, it says it's a #1 New York Times bestseller, so you can imagine where we're going with this. Now, this book is only 224 pages, probably doesn't have near as much of the quality information as Clinique Science does, and this is by two people, and neither of them are doctors. So the Amazon.com sales rank is 218. At the time that I actually did this test, there were only 218 other books, or 217 other books that sold more than Skinny Bitch. Now, why does a book with less credibility and probably less substance outsell one written by a PhD? Well, let's take a look. First, did they know their customers? Well, they know that their customers want to lose weight, but the authors or the marketers that ended up titling Skinny Bitch knew that people that are looking for a book on weight loss are looking for a lot more than just information. Probably they know that they're looking for a little entertainment, because when people saw Skinny Bitch, they probably laughed. But even underneath that, the people that wrote Skinny Bitch were thinking about a very particular group, a very particular tribe. And when you have, young gals in our country, there are a lot of different things that are going on in the culture. And part of the culture is that the girls in our country know there's a certain hierarchy, it's a certain status that gals that are skinny have over gals that are maybe a bit overweight. And the individuals that are a bit overweight are probably have a desire or a longing to have the status that the skinny bitch has, if you will. And so, bottom line being, they really got inside the mind of a particular segment of people that want to lose weight. They did it in a funny way, but underneath that kind of funny, entertaining, ha ha ha, I'm just getting this book because I think it's funny, there's a deep desire not just to lose weight, but to get the status involved with losing weight as well. And they really identified a particular group here, a no-nonsense, tough love guide. So it's kind of like, hey, look, we're just going to be real straight with you for savvy girls. So these are girls who think of themselves as intelligent and who aren't going to take any crap from somebody. They're going to have a little bit of that skinny bitch inside of them, even if they're not already one, right? And they don't want to keep eating crap, and they want to start looking fabulous. So this is about how they look, this is about their status, and this is about being smart enough to not eat crap. And there's a lot inside of that title that is very, very impactful and effective for that particular marketplace. So just consider that beyond just trying to get some attention with your title, that if you properly get inside the mind of the tribe or the community that you are trying to influence, that you're trying to generate leads from, and you properly communicate that you understand where they are, and that you're going to offer them not just the surface level of the result that they want, but you're going to offer them all the benefits that come with that, the ones that they most desire. Remember, fears, frustrations, and desires. And you can put that within the internet marketing that we're talking about here, then you're going to be very effective in attracting new clients and customers. So here are a couple more examples of ways to communicate a particular benefit, a particular value to a particular group of people. So let's start with women that are in love with a particular man. So here's one: 7 relationship truths every woman in love must learn. So if you're a woman in love, there's a good chance that that might at least raise an eyebrow and probably attract you enough to maybe give up your email address. Again, you're giving permission in exchange for some valuable information. But the way that this valuable information is communicated, again, very advanced and very important what they're saying here. Let's try another one. 9 love lies guys tell. Now, again, if you're a woman in the relationship mode, or if you're in a relationship with a man and maybe you're questioning it a little bit, you're probably going to want to find out what the 9 love lies guys tell happen to be. And you might be, again, willing to give up phone number, address, email address, etc., in exchange to find out what those 9 love lies are. So, again, you could create this in the weight loss category. The 9 weight loss lies that Weight Watchers won't even tell you, or something like that. You get the idea. It's creating a perception of, ooh, I'm going to get some secrets here. I'm going to get some really valuable stuff, and there's a little bit of entertainment value in this because this is telling me what people aren't revealing, what they're hiding, etc. So all sorts of different things that are internally going on in somebody's psychology when they're thinking about what you're telling them during the time that they're reading this headline. And this could be a Google ad for that matter as well. Finally, I'm going to share with you an important insight that will help you to get a sense of what will motivate your client, but also ultimately what will make them pony up some good amount of money for the services and products that you're providing. And this concept is called customer currency. So the measurable result that you are going to provide your client, that they really do want, what they really valuable, is equal to a certain currency. Let me put it a different way. It is a currency in and of itself. The measurable results you provide is a currency. It is worth money to your client. So let's translate that, for instance, into weight loss. Now, in weight loss, there are different currencies. There are pounds that someone could lose. That might be one valuable currency. There are inches off of the waist that you could lose. A certain amount of inches might be worth a certain amount of money. There is the way that somebody looks, or their shape that they can produce. That might be worth a certain currency as well. There are all sorts of different currencies, and you as a weight loss coach could probably list all the different currencies, all the different values that someone gets from just losing weight in general. Now, what you want to find is how your prospective clients and customers are measuring or are valuing the measurable results that you can provide them. What do they decide, and how do they measure the amount of results that they're going to get from you? Do they measure weight loss in pounds or inches? That's very important because you only have one chance to communicate this currency in the right way. So you want to be thinking about that as you're thinking about how you're going to communicate to your clients and customers in that Google ad and in your squeeze page as well, and figure out what their currency is. And by the way to do this is just survey them, ask them, talk to them, find out what they think. That's going to give you tremendous insight. And then once you find out what that currency is, figure out how much it's worth to them. And because they will have a direct translation between the pounds and the dollars that they'd be willing to spend per pound, or the inches off their waist and the dollars that they'd be willing to spend per inch. Whatever that measurable currency is for your client, figure out how much they'd be willing to pay for each unit of that currency, and then you know what the value is that you're providing to your client, to your customer. What is it worth is what you want to be asking. So I hope you got a lot out of Get Coaching Leads Tomorrow without ever leaving your home. And I really do hope that not only is this understandable and it makes sense, but that no matter what level of resistance or trepidation you have about getting rolling on the internet, that you just go out there and do it. It's a couple $100, it's a little bit of your time, and you'll get the ball rolling. And if you're working with a set of clients or a set of prospects that are really hungry for your services and that have an emotional need, you're going to find you're going to get some business very quickly if you use this process. So please leave a comment below on the blog and let me know what your questions or challenges are having to do with what we talked about here, and I'll answer them either in another comment or an email to you, or maybe even another video as well. And I hope that in addition to that, that you watch some of the other videos on the blog, because I'm going to be putting lots of new videos up within the next couple months, And there's a lot more follow-up where this came from that you want to learn, the really deep stuff that we get to, that some of which I ultimately only share in our coaches training. So I hope to talk to you soon.